Hi, my name is Jani. Today is 4th of July 2025. I am currently located on North Texas and I am a part-time artist working in my BFA on my painting major at UTA. When I was a kid, I had a dream of becoming an artist. But growing up in Mexico surrounded by a culture that diminishes art as a career, I kind of forgot what creating something really meant. I threw that dream to the trash for about 10 years, and it wasn't until I moved countries at 18 years old that I started creating again, when I found American schools encouraging art as a career and not just as a hobby. Most of my works are figurative paintings specifically related to my childhood and always connected to identity. Some of them might be surreal, while others are just representative works. I would say the creative process might be the toughest part for me when I really want to have a narrative on my art. I usually start by selecting the childhood photo I want to work on, and then transfer to Photoshop to create a new scenario. Choose the cropping and composition on the canvas and edit the colors on them. Here is when I think technology and traditional art can merge together to create something great. However, while that process works to have strong narrative pieces, sometimes I find myself having more fun when there is no plan at all. I love doing automatic paintings and drawings that might not make any sense at all sometimes, just for the urge of creating. One of my biggest influences at the beginning of my journey was Lisa Bryce. When I saw one of her paintings at the Modern Art Museum of Forward in 2022, as a woman growing up with an identity crisis, I knew I also wanted to implement iconography as a symbolic representation of identity. That is how my current collection, Why Is It Me, began in 2023. One of the strongest characteristics of this set of works is the use of phthalo blue color. And when I work on self-portraits, I tend to crop the face and steal the identity from the figure on the painting. This is to push the meaning on the narrative, but also for the viewer to identify themselves and find their own story instead of looking at me and feel detached from it. I've learned from it that everyone can find their own story and feel very differently even when looking at the same painting. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time and never stop doing art. That is why I want to eventually become an art teacher and encourage more people to follow their dreams and fulfill their desires with art. Lastly, if you want to know more about my art journey, you can follow me on Instagram, and you can follow Art by Artist to find more great artists around the world. I thank the community that Art by Artist has built and for also giving me the opportunity to share some of my journey with you.